The Super Bowl edition of LA Times Today starts right now.
Their team is the champion of the NFC.
Let's go! Rams house!
There's nothing quite like the Super Bowl.
It's going to be a heck of a show.
There's just a level of enormity.
Scream and get loud for the Rams!
Rams house!
Hello and welcome to a special Super Bowl edition of LA Times Today. I'm Lisa McCree.
And I'm Kelvin Washington. And Lisa, we are here at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It is a big, massive, beautiful place right behind us there.
Sunday's Super Bowl is the culmination of a dream that began back in 2016 when the Rams moved back to LA from St. Louis with a grandiose plan to play in this state-of-the-art venue, which, Kelvin, was still just a blueprint.
And this season, they sealed the deal and they're going to meet the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday in Super Bowl 56. But there's much more to it than just these two teams. LA is putting on the NFL's biggest party, and here are the things you need to know in our essential Super Bowl.
With less than 2 weeks between the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl, field crews have been working around the clock to get every detail perfect for Sunday's big game.
But as you can see, there's people behind me. You know, we are on our hands and knees with every blade of the artificial and with our painting and exactly to the eighth of an inch, measuring these logos and things so that everything is identical, everything is crisp and sharp and perfect. You want it to be the wow factor. When people walk in, they go, boom.
Sometimes you need to go big or go home. When the Rams bet on quarterback Matthew Stafford, he had only been to 3 playoff games. Now he is leading the team to the Super Bowl.
High risk, high reward. And that's been the philosophy of the Rams all along. They're willing to mortgage their future, give away future draft picks to get players who can help them win now. Matthew Stafford, even though he had never won a playoff game in his career, has that type of arm and that type of confidence and that type of belief in the players around him to get that done.
Even if you're not a die-hard football fan, the halftime show has become must-see TV. The show can cost upwards of $1 million a minute to pull off.
This halftime show is LA all the way. It's happening in LA, of course, with one of LA's teams. And you've got some of LA's, Southern California's most iconic hip hop artists. You got Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar. It's a really cool alignment of talent and location.
Want to see if you have what it takes to make it in the NFL? Head over to the LA Convention Center for the NFL Experience.
The NFL Experience is truly something you need to experience. There's so much to do, right? If football fans, it's pretty much a carnival for you, a circus. It's the Disneyland, if you will. There are so many things that if you thought maybe you had a chance to play football, maybe you played a little middle school or high school or something, a little pee-wee action. Well, you always said I can kick a field goal. Here's your chance. We got the uprights. You see both of those. You see the massive football. You can get a chance to do that.
If you're looking to score tickets to the big game, prepare to open your wallet wide because the ticket prices are not for the faint of heart.
Okay, this might sound crazy, but if you want to get a ticket for the Super Bowl, not the very best ticket, but just the cheapest ticket you can get, and you want to find a place to park for your car, and you can do both for $5,000, you're getting a deal. Now, if you don't want to get the cheapest seat in the house and you want to get the best seat on the house, maybe sit on the 50-yard line, you can actually see the players and hear what they say. The price for that over the course of ticket sales, it all varies day to day, but it's pretty much been around the $40,000, $50,000 mark. And remember, that's just one.
Lisa, remember it was just 1 year ago the Rams traded to get quarterback Matthew Stafford from my hometown team, the Detroit Lions.
And Kelvin, it paid off big time. I talked to Sam Farmer, LA Times award-winning NFL reporter, about this Sunday's big game.
Sam, thanks for being here. Let's talk about offense first and this little dream team that the Rams front office and Coach McVay have put together.
Yeah, an amazing group on offense. You mentioned Matthew Stafford, but think about his receivers that he's got. Cooper Kupp has had a phenomenal season. incredible route runner, beats man coverage, beats zone coverage, finds the end zone, and one of the best route runners and some of the best hands in the league. And then you think about Odell Beckham Jr. The Rams pulled him off the scrap heap, where Cleveland had put him on the scrap heap. This guy rediscovered his phenomenal talents with the Rams. He's week by week gotten more accustomed to Sean McVay's offense, and he's incredibly dangerous. What a pickup for the Rams when they lost Robert Woods to a ACL injury. So that was a huge pickup. And then probably the most surprising story of the year was the return of Cam Akers, a great second-year running back who suffered a torn Achilles tendon before the start of the season, and he's come back to be a huge addition for the Rams. It's really at a time when every other team is dealing with attrition, the Rams are dealing with addition, and it's been great for them offensively.
Let's talk about the quarterback matchup on the field. Joe Burrow of the Bengals is just 25 years old. Matthew, as we know, Stafford has been around. Are we going to see that age difference in play?
Well, Joe Burrow in his second year, he reminds me of a young Tom Brady. He is so smart. He can run a little bit, doesn't like to run, wants to stay in the pocket, and incredibly accurate. He can throw that ball through a mouse hole. He tends to start a little slow, but once he gets going with Jamar Chase, one of his star receivers from Louisiana State, he is unstoppable. And he's got T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and a good running back in Joe Mixon. And then Matthew Stafford had never won a playoff game before this season, came in, and now he's had some moments where he's thrown some head-scratcher type interceptions.
Pass in the air and picked by Ward.
But he's tough, he's accurate, he's a great leader, and to go down there and win in Tampa the way he did and then bring it home to SoFi and beat the 49ers really shows what this guy was made of. And another thing about Matthew Stafford, you can tell what kind of guy he is by how this whole city of Detroit is pulling for the Rams. He has that backing where he spent the first decade of his career, and tells you a lot about Matthew Stafford, that Lions fans still love him so much.
The team, of course, as we know, that the Rams has now was put together very strategically. But let's talk about the strategy on game day. We know they've been watching films for the past couple of weeks. What are they looking for? What weaknesses in the Bengals play are they going to want to exploit?
Well, I think they can exploit that offensive line. The Bengals do not have a great offensive line, and the Rams have a great defensive front. I mean, if you look at Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard Floyd, if Leonard Floyd is your third best pass rusher, you've got a good defensive front. And we saw that exposed with the 49ers late in the game, the NFC Championship game, when the Rams defenders started getting to Jimmy Garoppolo and forcing him to make mistakes.
Intercepted by the Rams.
So it's going to be key to get Joe Burrow off his mark in the pocket. He likes to stay in the pocket, but if Aaron Donald were to have a big game or Von Miller coming off the edge, that would be huge. I would look at the offensive line of the Bengals as a potential weak spot.
Love to get inside the heads of the coaches because they know each other.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Taylor was the quarterback's coach for the Rams when Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl in 2018. So more of the sort of Sean McVay coaching tree that we're seeing. It's pretty remarkable. We see it with Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, and we see it now with Zach Taylor in the Super Bowl. They know each other well, and that could play into the strategy of this game.
Let's talk about predictions, Sam. In this new multi-billion-dollar palace of football, here at home, home team, home field, this new team, all the excitement about the Rams, who's your favorite?
I like the Rams in this game. Part of the Super Bowl is trying to make things as normal as possible. And here are two franchises with not a ton of Super Bowl experience on their rosters. And so if you can make it like a normal game, I think you are at an advantage. And the Rams are certainly at an advantage playing on their home field in their own locker room, and this week sleeping in their own bed and having that familiar feel. And I think the Rams win this game.
Sam Farmer reporting for the LA Times. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you, Lisa.
Coming up, a look at the very first Super Bowl. Kelvin, it wasn't even called the Super Bowl then, and it all started right here in LA.
Lisa, plus I'm going to take you to the NFL experience, and it's like Disneyland for football fans. All that coming up next when our LA Times Today Super Bowl special returns.